Before we get started, guys, I'd like to thank you guys so much for 200 subscribers. Let's go to the next goal, 1K. Let's get it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Santos the Destroyer, and I am back with a new What If. This is my 200 subscriber special. What if Naruto was a Saiyan? Part 1. And now is somewhere to make a lot of things clear. I am making a unique clan for Naruto or Minato to be part of. It's going to be known as the Saiyan or Saiyajin clan, and they will have a unique KK Genkai, which does allow them to basically concentrate chakra and fire it off as projectiles, and they're able to transform, like to Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, stuff like that. But mostly the KK Genkai is just basically a transformation KK Genkai that increases their chakra output and physical prowess, and they can um, like discharge chakra from their hands in intense bursts, and they can also fly, much like Onoki from the Hidden Stone Village. So basically, I would say up until Naruto's birth, everything results the same. So Naruto is still the same person that he is, except that now he is a Saiyan instead of like Uzumaki and Namikaze. But he'd still probably be known as Naruto Uzumaki because I believe he'd only be half Saiyan because of Minato. It would be full Saiyan and then Kushime and Kushina, so you'd have a half Saiyan child who would basically have the same upbringing, except now him being a Saiyan, you could make a case that it would change his relationship with the Nine Tails, just due to the fact that he'd have much more power and maybe Kurama would respect him from a younger age. But ultimately, I don't think that would happen considering the fact that Naruto was a kid and he probably couldn't access his latent power as of yet. So now we get into Naruto's early academy days. These days are somewhat different than in the original because Naruto, because he's half Saiyan, his Saiyan biology, he'd be physically stronger, he'd be physically faster, have more stamina, he'd be physically dominant over his peers. And also, due to Zenkai's, he would, every time he got beaten in a fight, he'd always come back stronger. So basically, you have a Naruto that has absolutely no finesse with his martial arts, just like he did in canon, no skill, but he hits like a truck and he always gets back up like in canon, but every time he gets stronger. So now you have the graduation exam arc. I don't literally don't believe that there's any reason that Naruto still wouldn't fail. Just because like he's physically stronger and whatnot doesn't mean his chakra control is any better. So Naruto still fails his graduation exam, which ultimately leads him to the scroll of sealing, which leads him to his encounter of Mizuki. Now, instead of Mizuki telling him that he has a diamond-tailed demon fox inside of him, he also tells him that he is a Saiyan and that he's basically descended from aliens, which Naruto doesn't really believe, but then Mizuki and gets at him further and says, "Why do you think you're stronger, faster, and have more stamina than all your classmates? Did you really think you were of this world?" And I think at that moment, Naruto would have that same breakdown that he did in canon when Mizuki was talking about how he was like a nine-tailed monster. And then Iruka would do his thing in canon, and Naruto would assault Mizuki with the multi-shadow clone jutsu that he learned from the Scroll of Sealing. However, in this instance, since Naruto is a lot stronger, a lot faster, and he has significantly more stamina, physical stamina, than he did in the original canon, they're just Mizuki is left on the edge of near death, if not dead outright, And if he's not dead outright, I do believe Iruka would be able to capture him and just take him back to the Hokage's office. So now Naruto is promoted to Genin, and he is to be matched on a team. I do still believe that Naruto would be on Team 7, as his grades would still be horrible, and they'd still need Kakashi to be able to control the Nine Tails if push ever came to shove. So now we have the introductions. Sakura's introduction remains much the same. Sasuke's introduction remains much the same, to kill a certain someone, aka Itachi. Naruto's introduction is to become an extremely powerful shinobi who is capable of honoring not only his father's legacy, but his mother's legacy. And people like looked at him and asked him what that means, but he says he gives a smile and says, "Oh, I don't know yet." So now we begin the bell test. Naruto, I still believe, would do the same stupid, straightforward strategy that he did in canon. He tried to outnumber Kakashi, not overwhelm Kakashi with numbers. Kakashi would be caught at first with doing to his Genin's surprising speed and stamina and physical strength, that he would be forced to put down his book against Naruto, not because that Naruto's more skilled, but because he's just more physically imposing and his more physicality than he did in canon. And as their Tarjutsu spar went on, Kakashi seemed to notice that as the battle went on, it's almost as if Naruto was learning. He was getting better in the midst of the fight. He was adapting. But Naruto didn't notice this. Only Kakashi knew this. So he used a bit more effort to see if he could just put out Naruto then and there. And right as he had cornered Naruto and was about to land a finishing blow, Naruto throws his hands up in a protective gesture to protect himself, and chakra explodes out of them and knocks Kakashi back. Naruto, having absolutely no idea what he just did, is promptly speed blitzed by Kakashi before anything else could happen. And at that moment, Sasuke makes his stand against Kakashi, which goes about the same as in canon, but I do believe Sasuke would be taken out a little bit faster, just due to the fact that Kakashi would be trying a bit more. So at the end of the day, I do believe Team 7 would still fail the bell test. Not fail, but like fail in quotes. But they would pass because of the teamwork and they would give Naruto food. However, in this instance, Kakashi would be very intrigued in Naruto and would just question where did that ability come from, where did that power come from? Because he would have noted that Minato Sensei never displayed such an ability, even though they were from the same clan. So now we move on to the series of D rank missions that Team 7 was given. They are again completed with remarkable ease, as basically it's just fodder. Naruto can catch any cat because he's just so fast. So the best way to compare Naruto's speed right now is between it's like upper it's like food pill Kiba levels of speed. That's how fast Naruto is in his normally. So now we get into the Land of Waves. Now Naruto is still the shortest one, so Tazn still reps on him, even though Naruto exudes more of a battle presence than he did originally. Not menacing like the Kyuubi, just a stoic battle aura he has radiating from him. So Tazna, like, he rips on him, but then he quickly regrets it, in a sense. And just due to Naruto's Saiyan biology, he's able to sense the Demon Brothers way before anyone can, and he basically just takes them out single-handedly because they can't really take his physical strength and speed. So one punch to the gut of each of them, and they're both done. Naruto also takes out the bunny, the rabbit, and then Hidden Mishijutsu rolls in. They do back-to-back defensive formation, where it is the water clone of Zabuza nearly taking Naruto's head off, but his Saiyan instincts kicked in and saved him, and only a bit of his hair was sliced off. Now Naruto, battle instincts all tuned up, stares down his challenger, which is the water clone of Zabuza, while Kakashi fights the real Zabuza. So Sakura is back protecting Tazuna or doing who knows what, and it's just Naruto and Sasuke having to work in sync against the water clone of Zabuza. In this instance, you could say, hey, couldn't Naruto just speed blitz Zabuza? If the circumstances were different, if they were in an open field, maybe he could speed blitz Zabuza, but they're not in an open field and he can't really speed blitz Zabuza because he doesn't know where Zabuza is. And Sasuke's Sharingan is too underdeveloped to be able to see through this hidden Mishijutsu. So Naruto and Sasuke have to rely on reaction more than like attacking. They have to play defensively. However, eventually the mist does wear thin as Kakashi is pressing the real Zabuza into an unfortunate situation, and they are able to dispel the water clone. However, just like in canon, as there is nothing that happens that would change this, Zabuza does stick Kakashi into the water prison. And that's where we're going to leave it off for this story. If you liked it, share, subscribe, and comment. This was part one of What If Naruto Was a Saiyan. I'm Santos the Destroyer, and I